Welcome all to our first ever NFL Pub Hub playoff edition. The success of the Cappers throughout the season of this show made this a mandatory move. These guys have been so incredibly good this year that we had just to keep it going. This is also the first time we've had our top 7 Cappers all on one show. Top 7 Cappers this season, all on one show. And it's perfect for the wild card round of the playoffs in our first ever playoff edition show. This group of 7 Cappers has gone to combine 227 wins, 160 losses, plus 59.76 units. Phenomenal work. And this group here, there is every single capper on this show is except Noli in 7th is, and he has the smallest sample size. He's the only one who isn't up over 5 units on the show. Noli's been incredible with his small sample size of shows. Noli has been, let me just grab this. Sorry, I should have this here. Is 11 and 7 plus 4.32 units. Noli's been in the black in 4 of 5 shows with us. The only show he hasn't been in the black, he's down 0.38 units. So it was just predicated on the need for more winners from the success of everybody. So I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to host the show. I'm so excited to see all my friends who do the show with me have such great seasons. And I'm proud of their work. So this is the show. As always, I didn't want to change with what we've been doing with Bobano. Now there's a reason why he has to go on first every Sunday, but he could have gone on any spot here, but we're going to have him batting leadoff again. He's number 1 in our rankings for our Pub Hub records. Let me just pull up the Pub Hub records here right now so I can have them all on one page. He's 83 and 57, up 20.24 units on this show. So he's opening it up. Then Mr. Goldster will be on the show. He swept the board last week. He's currently in 6th of our 21 cappers. He is 19 and 14 plus 5.31 units. Then we go to Big Ragu, last year's champion. Ragu is 2nd overall. He is 39 and 27 plus 9.88 units. Spendy Penny bombs. We didn't have him all week 18. He was busy. Week 17, he swept the board. He went 5-0. He's 18 and 10. 18 and 10 plus 8.16 units. Then we have Brizzy, who got off to a phenomenal start, hit a bump in the middle of the season and has finished strong. He's 26 and 20 plus 5.61 units. He swept the board last week as well. Then Noli Knows, who I already discussed. And then to close up the show, Connor Mack and C-Mac went 6 and 1 last week. The only one he didn't cash was the Deshaun Watson anytime touchdown at plus 450. So he was going for a score there. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be here with all of you guys. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We got Adrian Bird, who's now a member of Pub Sports Radio. I love seeing that. Real Deal Prime, Nasty Nate, Viper NB, Big Show Picks, Tasha, Spendy Penny Bombs, who'll be on later. Cashville, Rican, Harold Williams, Sammy Culmer, Bill McHugh, Markel. It is great to see all of you guys, and I'm excited. I'm pumped up. So our first guest, Bobano, will be here shortly. So right now we can talk about my action here. I'm coming off sweeping the board last week as well. We can talk about my action and then the injury issues that the main ones, even though we'll be talking about them as we go. Let's do this here. All right. Let's go. So for me, this week, I added a 4th bet. On Tuesday, I moved on Seattle, San Francisco under 43. I have added, and then on Wednesday, about 24 hours, I moved on the Bengals -7. Then, that was pretty much after. Sorry, that was about 2 hours after the show, about 2 hours after the Tuesday night. So around midnight or 1 a.m. Wednesday morning. Then on Thursday, after we talked with Pistol Pete Loshak, I moved on the Bills first half -7 at -120. And then today, this morning, I moved on the Chargers, Jacksonville Jaguars under 47. I had wanted to move on the Chargers, but I'm just so angry at Staley and Mike Williams being out for likely the rest of the season that I couldn't pull the trigger on that. And I was only going to pull a move on the Jaguars team total under, but now I'm going to take the full game under 47. And then the other play I'm looking very closely at, and as soon as we get this mysterious Ryan Jensen news in that we've been waiting for so patiently for so long, his 21-day window ends on Wednesday. I would like to take the over in the Cowboys Buccaneers game, but I won't do that unless Ryan Jensen's at center. So that is my action. There is our guy, Razor Sharp Picks Dad in the house, saying, great shirt. Great to have you here joining us, Bernie. We love your son. Love your family. Love your whole family. Jerry Young, Alex Ramirez, Make America Great Again, Swiss Horton, Boogie Main. What a great, great group. It's time to get to work. Your next guest, it's been an absolute privilege to watch work. I watch him work at a very, in close proximity all the time, but this was a special football season. It truly was. In the last 4 weeks, he's gone 28-14, and he's up just under 12 units. The consistency of him as a high volume bettor has really impressed me. He's 83-57 on the show. He's up 20.24 units. And he's a big reason why the show has had the success that it's had. Please welcome from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada's black and yellow, Ian Cameron. Ian, how are you, my friend?
Yeah, great stuff, Jimmy. Great season it's been. The playoffs last year, though, was a little bit of a rough patch for me, and it turned a winning season into a losing season. Now I'm up so much this year that won't happen this year, even with a bad playoff run. But we intend not to have that happen. So let's hope the playoffs treat me as well as the regular season did, and all of us for that matter.
So Bobano gets his card started on the evening game tonight. You are leaving alone the 49ers, Seahawks. Can you just touch on why you are leaving that game alone briefly before we move into your night game?
Well, I actually didn't leave the game alone. I left it alone for show purposes. I actually do have some plays on that game. I have the Niners first half and first quarter team total over in that game. First quarter team total over 6.5. First half team total over 13.5. We know what San Francisco's like, especially at home, especially with Shanahan, especially with this offense. Now, the weather is the big X factor here. There's rain in the forecast, heavy rain. It could be driving rain because the winds could be whipping up as well at first kickoff. But that benefits a team that can run the football like the Niners can. And I have no concerns about them being able to run the ball. Seattle has not been good stopping the run this year. I think they'll be able to put up some early points in this game. It's been a habit of theirs. So I'm on the team totals over for San Francisco in the first quarter and first half of that game. Those are the two main plays.
Those were your two main plays, but you weren't as confident for the record purposes. And for those of you, we're going to talk about that game. It will not be raining at kickoff, but it'll be 19-mile-per-hour winds. The rain is supposed to come in about 20 real-life minutes, 25 minutes, so maybe 6 minutes into the game, the rain is supposed to come. And then there could be even a thunderstorm that comes in about an hour and a half in. So that's when Ian's talking about the driving rain. So, and JP is saying all of Cali is flooded. But let's talk about the spots where Ian is pulling the trigger. Let's get to work right now. We start right off the hop with the Sunday nighter. AFC wildcard. Los Angeles Chargers 10-7, 5-4 on the road at Jacksonville Jaguars 9-8, 5-3 at home. TIAA Bank Field, Jacksonville, Florida. 42 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour. I'm sure Bobano will touch on it. His anger and my dad's anger over Staley's decision making has made it a little bit better for me, knowing that other people are as angry as I am, and other people have futures on the Chargers that got fucked by Brandon Staley's ignorance. But I'm really upset still. Mike Williams is out, fractured back, and Staley lied to us saying he could have come back in. What an asshole Brandon Staley is. No respect for the violence of football. I hope somebody shows a little violence with Brandon Staley. Jaguars, though, same situation that we've been dealing with. Jamal Agnew, a nice special teams player for them, has been dealing with a shoulder injury. He's expected to go. Trevor Lawrence still dealing with the toe injury. He's expected to go. And one of their star guards, Brandon Scherf, who's very good, has an abdomen injury, and he's expected to go. Let's go over to the line history here for this one, and then we'll touch on the cash, and then Bobano will fire away on his first spot here on the board. This opened up with the let's move over to Pinnacle. This opened up with the Chargers at -1. They're now at -2. You can still find 2.5s on the board. From a total perspective, it opens up at 47, -105 to the under. It's now -112 to the under. And I told you I did move on this under today. Cash wise for this one, we have 120,553 tickets in. 57% of the tickets and 57% of the cash is on the Jaguars. Then 42% of the tickets and 61% of the cash is on the under. It does feel like there's some sharp action there. Take it away for us, Bobano, our first game on our playoff edition NFL Pub-Up, Chargers, Jaguars.
Okay, so let's start with I will have a rare teaser, and teasers are fine, right? To make those official.
Of course, definitely,
absolutely. So yeah, I will have a teaser, and we're gonna have Jacksonville teased to 8.5. In this game as one leg of a 2-team 6-point teaser. I'll mention the other team after. It's also on the card. But Jacksonville is one of the 2-team teasers, 2-team 6-point teasers. Jacksonville plus 8.5. That's one leg of the teaser. The other official play on this game is the over. We are going to take over the total in this game with the Jags and the Chargers. Looks like 46.5 at Bet Online, -110. Is the best price we have with it right now. I think we're going to see enough points here in this game. Look, when you look at these two teams offensively, I think there's going to be pathways for the Chargers to be able to make plays down the field. Mike Williams, and we've talked about, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's so ridiculous that he played last week, and Staley's an absolute bonehead for even putting him in there. But nevertheless, you've still got Keenan Allen. You've still got, you've still got a lot of weapons you can use. You can throw the Eckler out of the backfield. It's still a decent crew of receivers. So keep in mind they've had other receivers be able to step up for the Chargers. And I still think the Jaguars secondary is where you're probably going to have a little bit more success. You can throw a little bit on that secondary. We have seen that throughout the course of the season. So I think Keenan Allen, Joshua Palmer, DeAndre Carter, those are the guys you're going to ask to step up here for the Chargers. I think the Jaguars are going to be able to run the football against the Chargers' run defense. It's the pass defense that you worry about, because Lawrence was under some pressure last week from the Titans, even though they won that game. But I think they're going to be able to run it. I think they will consider definitely running the football quite a bit here with Travis Etienne. If you like, if you can bet Travis Etienne props, I would look in that direction for sure. I think he's definitely going to be active throughout this game for the Jaguars. They should be able to run it, and I think they'll have their share of success against the Chargers on the defensive side of the football here in this game. Chargers, again, defensively healthier now, but I think with Jacksonville playing at home, you'll see this team be able to move the football and put up enough points. As far as where the line is now, I'm totally torn, okay, on who's going to win this game. I think the number's in a good spot. I could see the Chargers winning a close game. I could see Jacksonville winning this game. These are two teams that I wouldn't mind seeing win, because of the Chargers, especially because I have futures on them. But one thing I'm pretty confident in is the one outcome I don't see happening is the Chargers winning by more than a touchdown. If the Chargers win, this is going to be a close game. That's the way I see it. So Jacksonville as the first part of a 2-team 6-point teaser at plus 8.5. And I'm also on over 46.5 in this game.
Great stuff. You're right. The Jaguars are vulnerable through the air. I thought it was going to be the difference maker in this game before Mike Williams was hurt. It still can be. It just won't be quite as easy. They are 28th in yards allowed to opposing passers, 29th on third down, and 24th in the red zone. This team was 26th in defensive DVOA, and they're really good against the run. But the Chargers aren't just not that type of football team. So I agree there are some holes there. The Jags with an extra day of rest, 4-0 against the spread at home as underdogs. I understand the difficulty of picking a side, and in our playoff pools that we're all in, I can pick a side there, but I'm not going to bet on the Chargers. I have the futures just like you. So we are heads up here on the total. We found you an over 46.5 at -105, and then he's using Jacksonville plus 8.5. Spenny, don't worry, we will get the links out. Our man Vic is producing this show, so he'll send out the links. And Vic, let me know if you're having any trouble getting the links out to everybody. All right, let's move up on the next spot on the board for Bobano, and that is tomorrow's second game. New York Giants at Minnesota Vikings, US Bank Stadium. This is a very healthy Giant squad, healthiest they've been all year long. Wow. Could have been saying the same thing about the Chargers, right? Should have been saying the same thing about the Chargers. But Daboll has handled this whole season perfectly. And Staley, for some reason, wanted to win a meaningless football game for reasons we'll never know. For the Vikings, Dantzler is questionable. Cam Dantzler, their cornerback, he missed practice all week due to an ankle injury, but he's also got a personal matter. So personal reasons are going on. We don't know. I don't know about. Harrison Smith with a knee injury was limited to participant at practice. We expect him in the lineup for these Vikings. Spread-wise here, we have, and I've not moved on this game. I find this game extremely difficult. The Vikings opening up at -2.5. It was a very juiced 2.5. It's basically what it is now. The -3 at -101. From a total side of things, it opened up at 47.5. Is now at 48.5. There's razor sharp picks in the house. Great to have all you guys here. MDR, Swiss Horton, D Jenkins, Dasha, Daryl Turner, Rara Murray. Says Jaguars 0-4 against spread in their last 4 games after accumulating less than 250 total yards in their previous game. Did not know that. Did not know that side of things. Here we go. So spread, as I said, the total has gone up a point to 48.5, and it is juiced to the under at that 48.5. And then cash-wise, the Sharps have been on the Giants all week, so that's not changed. 54% of the tickets and 90% of the cash. You would think that threes wouldn't be available if that was the case, but they are widely available. 52% of the tickets and 53% of the cash is on the under. The total I find side and total tricky here, but maybe our man Bobano can illuminate things. Take it away, Bobano. Your next game on the card, Giants Vikings.
Yeah, this is of course the Giants against a Vikings team that a lot of people think a little fortuitous to be this far. That's not just the only reason I am on the Giants, but I believe in the Giants. I really do. I think they're going to win this game outright. It's a +3 still in many places, so we'll go with that for the official play on the side. And there's a double up. This is a Giants +3, also over the total for me in this game with the Giants and the Vikings. So Giants +3, -1. It looks like -111. Cool bets, the best we can do with the juice. -112 at Pinnacle. +3, -111. Cool bet with that. And also over 48, -110 at Bet365. So we'll make those the official numbers in this game. I think you'll see points. I think the Giants will move the ball on the Vikings. The Vikings have lacked pass rush. Their secondary's been shredded. Don't look now, but all of a sudden, Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, and Darius Slayton, people know, but Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James, I mean, they've become nice receivers for the Giants. It's very solid. And Daniel Jones has found them in the passing game. Daboll, you know how good he's run this team offensively in terms of system and scheme and structure. They'll move the ball in Minnesota. If you look at all the Minnesota defensive numbers, they are bottom half of the NFL. And it's amazing that their record is this good with that defense. I think the Giants will be able to move that ball successfully in that game, how they were able to. And keep in mind, in the previous regular season meeting that the Vikings won, there were some Giants turnovers. There was a blocked punt that was returned for a touchdown by the Vikings. There were some weird plays that went Minnesota's way in that game. If you clean up those mistakes, if you're the Giants and didn't have those in that game, you might have won it. When you played in Minnesota earlier this year. So I like the Giants. I think they're very live here. If there's going to be a road team in wild card weekend that's going to win, I think this is that team, the New York Giants. Minnesota, I think as far as the over's concerned, they will still move the ball. The Giants won't shut them down completely. There's just too many weapons with Jefferson, Thielen. The receiving core is good. Cousins is capable enough, but I think the difference is going to be, and what I think will be a back and forth, high scoring, close game, is that when the game is on the line, whose pass rush is going to inflict? And I think the Giants pass rush, that's the strength. Dexter Lawrence and company, it's a good D line. The secondary is a little shaky, and Adoree Jackson may not play again. That's why I think Minnesota can throw a little bit on the Giants, but if the pass rush, which is critical in the key moments of the game late in a close game, I think that's where the Giants pass rush can get that sack on Cousins, get those stops when they need it, and allow themselves to emerge victorious in this game. So Giants +3, over 48, -110.
That number is dropping right now, so we can get you a -103 at Pinnacle. over 48 minus 103.
Excellent.
And the Giants +3 and minus 111. I'm sure a lot of you guys are all excited to know all about this, but for everybody to know, our big UFC show, first of the season, is starting almost simultaneously with the end of our show. It'll be on a few minutes before we're done, but that's going on tonight here on Pub Sports Radio, and we have our UFC contest, and Nikki Fish Tanks has the link right there. So there you have it from Bobano. Giants +3 minus 111, over 48 minus 103. 2 games left for you, Bobano, and we are, unlike our Sundays, we are not hurting for time here, so we don't need to push it. Our next scheduled guest is in 7 minutes, so that's the most time we've ever had for 2 games left for you and
a rarity for us. Yeah.
We have so as you guys know, tomorrow is our big live bet stream day. Sharpie's got the 1 p.m. game, the Bills Dolphins. CMAC has the 4:30 game, the Vikings Giants, and I have the Sunday night game, as always, Ravens Bengals. And Bobano's gotten a look on this. Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio, 33 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 4 miles per hour. As we assumed through our capping, through Gridiron Gamblers and everything, that Lamar Jackson wouldn't be in the lineup. I moved on to 7. It got up to 10. It's back at 8.5. Huntley is expected to start. He was a full participant at practice on Friday. The Bengals, of course, don't have Alex Kappa. Lyle Collins also got hurt a few weeks ago, so they're not quite as strong as that offensive line has been, and it did get stronger and stronger as the season went on. Here we go for the next spot on Bobano's card. Ravens, Bengals, take it away.
I'm going to keep this brief. I mean, I just don't see any way Baltimore wins this football game. And I hate saying that because there's always that one game or a couple games every year in the playoffs where you say there's no way that team's going to win the football game. And lo and behold, they win the football game. So you never, ever truly say never. But this is a Baltimore up against it because Lamar's out. We don't even know if Huntley's going to be good enough to go. It could be Anthony Brown, but that's not even the biggest issue. The biggest issue is Cincinnati was able to move the football against Baltimore. The too many 3-and-outs on offense. Cincinnati defense played very well down the stretch. And to me, it's just if the Ravens are going to be trailing in this football game, which is reasonable to expect they'll be trailing quite a bit, they're not the kind of team that can come back throwing the football without Lamar. Even with Lamar, sometimes they can't come back throwing the football. But if it's Huntley or, dare I say, Brown, they're really going to have some trouble. It looks like Dobbins and Mark Andrews are at least going to be good to go and healthy. But again, if they're trailing and they're playing from behind, that's going to be difficult for Baltimore. So I think Cincinnati wins the game. I don't even hate laying 8.5, but this is the other second leg of the 2-team 6-point teaser that I am making for an official play on the show. We have Jacksonville plus 8.5 in the one leg, and in this leg, it's Cincinnati minus 2.5.
Well, the market's moving so quickly towards the Ravens. The Sharps appear to be on the Ravens. 27% of the tickets, 51% of the cash. We now have 8s on the board for the first time. We've had 8.5s, but we now have 8s on the board here. There is an 8 at Bookmaker and BetChris, which means there'll probably be 8s everywhere. So for this spot that you have the Chargers, the Jags. The Jags are at +2 at Bookmaker and BetChris, and the Bengals are -8. So we can give you the +8 and the -1 for your teaser. That's both at the same book.
Oh, excellent. So +8 Jacksonville, -1 Cincinnati. That's terrific. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly it. +8 Jacksonville, and then Bengals -2, right? Bengals -2 because it's at 8.
-2. Yeah.
Jacksonville. Okay, perfect. Beautiful stuff. Look, Harbaugh is a great coach, and the Ravens defense, has been getting healthier and healthier, and I don't put it past the Ravens to stay into this game. And I'm in a pool where it's side and spread and total, and I probably should have gone Bengals side, Ravens spread, but I didn't. I went Bengals, and I'm a little nervous. But we have a move for you, and that's your only spot. Is this part of your teaser?
That's right. Cincinnati in the teaser with Jacksonville. Correct. Yeah.
All right. MDR 24 saying this line should be around 13. Harold Williams got Bengals at 7. Yeah, and a half. I got him at 7. There's AOD in the house. Kirk Gray moving on the Chargers money line and the under 47 with Seattle plus 10. Let's move on to our final game here. And this is another one of our NFL live bet streams. Bobano will be a part of this one as well. Dallas Cowboys, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. This is the Bobano, Ragu, and I Monday night special here. And look, this game's been perplexing. Nick Leverett is hurt, knee and shoulder injuries. I didn't know that on Tuesday. That came out later. We know that Robert Hainsey, their center, has been dealing with this hamstring injury. And Ryan Jensen's still not being made available. He's still in that 21-day window, which closes on Wednesday. I've been expecting him to be under center. I've been expecting this all week, but we can't get any confirmation. Ball's playing and keeping his cards close to his chest, but they've got a bunch of injured players back. So tackle Donovan Smith, defensive tackle Vita Vea, cornerback Carlton Davis, safety Mike Edwards, receiver Julio Jones, safety Logan Ryan, and Keanu Neal, and outside linebacker Carl Nassib are all back. For the Cowboys, DeMarcus Lawrence, a limited in practice, but we expect him in there. And Tyron Smith with the knee injury, but we expect him in there as well. So this has gone. There were 3s on the board for a very brief time, but they're no longer here. It's 2.5 on each side, slightly juiced to the Cowboys. This totals at 45.5, and I do have interest in this over. A lot of interest in the over, but I need Ryan Jensen out there. I'm not going to bet. I'm screwed in my pools because I have to get them in by kickoff, and I've already sent them in. I mean, if there's no Ryan Jensen, I want to bet the Cowboys. I think he's that important. 50,695 tickets in, 60% of tickets, 68% of cash on the Bucks, and then 48% of tickets, 66% of cash on the over. I think the over is a sharp look, but only with Jensen under or at center. Take it away for us, Bobano, your last game.
Yeah, I mean, he is important, but I have no qualms about Tampa Bay moving the football against Dallas's defense, even without him. I think they will be able to. I've not been impressed with the Cowboys on the defensive side of the football, and it's been this way for weeks. Houston and Davis Mills went up and down the field against Dallas. Jacksonville did the same. They have had a lot of bad performances. Philly with Gardner Minshew sucked a couple weeks ago, but against Dallas's overrated defense, they went up and down the field against the Cowboys in that game. The key with Dallas is if they don't get the pass rush, you can throw all over that secondary. It is such a mediocre secondary. It is just, and that pass rush, and Micah Parsons in particular has masked that defense so many times this season. And at this point, look, maybe they didn't care about the game. They knew they weren't going to get the number 1 seed or the division over Philly. But that was awful what we saw from them against Washington. Just brutal. It was good for Jimmy and I because we liked Washington in that football game last week. But that's a terrible way to go into the playoffs. And say what you will, Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys. They've got new life again, the Buccaneers, that's the way they ended the season. I mean, against Carolina in that must-have game, the passing game came to life. All of a sudden, Brady's hitting the deep ball to Mike Evans. 3 big touchdown passes. I think when you look at it here, that's what you want. The defense is getting healthier for Tampa Bay. The offensive line, they don't have Jensen back, but both starting tackles are finally back for this game. Both of them, the left tackle, the right tackle, Wirfs is healthy. Other than Jensen, it's fully healthy. And that O-line should be able to do a decent job keeping Brady upright, even against Parsons and company here. A Dallas defense that didn't play well down the stretch. So I like Tampa here in this game. I'm just debating, though, with the 3s gone, how do I want to go about it here with Tampa? Do I take the money line or do I go with the team total? Because I bet both. I bet Tampa Bay plus the points, a little money line, and also the team total over in this game. I'm going to go probably I'm just going to go with the money line now here on Tampa because there's no 3s out there anymore on the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with just the straight money line here on the Bucks in this game. Let me just see. Best price with the money line on Tampa looks to be plus 125. All right, at Bet99. So that's plus 125. I'm just going to go money line because I'm 2.5. Who cares? They'll probably win. And by the way, another reason why I like the money line and rather screw plus the points, the team that wins the football game in the wild card round, I should say, is 54-7-1 against the spread in the last 62 games. Pick the straight up winner. Don't worry about the spread. If it's the favorite, you lay the points. If you like the underdog to win the game, just take the money line. That's what that tells you. 54, 7, and 1 against the spread in the last 62 wild card games for the straight up winner of the game. So it tells you the point spread has not come into play in this round. So Tampa money line, I do like that over, Jimmy. That's an official play as well. Over 45 is actually at 45. It's 45 at PointsBet. So we'll grab that 45. Minus 110. Dallas, Tampa Bay over 45 minus 110. Because I do think the Cowboys will score a little bit as well on that Tampa Bay defense. So over 45 minus 110, Tampa Bay money line. And just before I wrap up and we get to Goldster, the next guest, didn't put this game on the list, but I'm going to add an official play on it. We're laying some juice here, Jimmy. It's from the Miami Buffalo game. We're going to go, it's minus 150 at Pinnacle. And I don't like laying juice of this magnitude very often. But at minus 150 at Pinnacle, we're going to go Buffalo Bills team total over 27.5. That's the best way to approach that game. I don't want to deal with the big number. I don't want to deal with first half, full game, laying the points with Buffalo. I'm just going to key in on Buffalo scoring 28-plus points against Miami, which they should be able to do against that defense. They did it the last time in that snow and cold game Saturday night late in the season. I just think Buffalo gets 28-plus points. I was on a team total with them last week, as you know, against New England, last week of the season. Best way to bet the Bills, in my opinion. Bills team total over 27.5 minus 150. That's an official play as well.
Bills team total over 27.5 minus 150. Buccaneers money line plus 125. The over 45. We found that at minus 109 at Bet Chris and Bookmaker. That's in Cowboys Buccaneers. Then he has the Giants plus 3, the over 48 at minus 103, and a teaser with Jacksonville plus 8, Bengals minus 2, combined with the over 46.5 in Chargers Jaguars.
And I also have the Giants and the Bucks and the Giants and the Bucks and a bunch of teasers as well. But the only teaser I'm making official for the show is the Jags and Bengals.
I love it, Bobano. Your last 4 weeks have been spectacular. 8-3 plus 4.71 units, 8-5 plus 2.64 units, 6-3 plus 2.77 units, and he actually had another 6-3 plus 2.77 units in Week 18. What a season you've had here on the show. Thank you for sharing your hard work and your angles and insights with us all year long. Keep doing what you've been doing, getting that papier, my friend. Excellent work, and we may do this again next week. We're in talks about it, but the support from the cappers in the chat has been impressive. We've got over 200 live right now on a time slot that we've never had before. So we thank you so much for that. Bobano, any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
It's just been a great show. Lots of fun. It's been a great season for Jimmy, for me, for a lot of people. Like the top 7 cappers that are on this show today. Incredible seasons, all of them. So it's been nice to see everybody win simultaneously. Let's see if we can keep it going in the playoffs. Enjoy the games and good luck, everybody. Let's make some money this weekend.
There he is, Bobano. We head east. We head east from Hamilton, Ontario for your next guest, fresh off of sweeping the board in Week 18 to get himself back in a really nice number, 19-14 plus 5.31 units. He's been great all season long, and he has done something a little different, which I'm excited about, and I think you guys are going to love for his action this week. And he's just continuing. He's been doing this all year. He's taking a little bit to the extreme here, and I love it. I love what he's doing here. It's been working, and keep doing what's putting money in your pockets. Please welcome from Belleville, Ontario, Mr. Goldster in-house. Goldster, how are you?
Doing good, Jimmy. Thanks for Bobano there. Good Canadian kid down in Dundas, Ontario. Shout out to Bobano. And everyone else in the chat, guys, let's get after it. What's going on, Jim? How you doing?
Well, I love what you've done here. Our man Goldster has had great success focusing on one game and hammering it. And that's what he's doing here. So unlike the other cappers on the show who are going to be talking about multiple games, some like Brizzy and have every single game on the board, not our Mr. Goldster. He's focusing on one solitary game tonight at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, the AFC wildcard, Chargers, Jacksonville Jaguars, TIA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. We've talked about Williams being out likely for the rest of the season because Staley's an ass clown. And we have just some questionable situations that aren't really that questionable. I mean, Agnew's shoulder is, but Lawrence with the toe, he's going to be fine. And Scherf with the abdomen, we expect Scherf to be in. Now, don't think this is a lack of action for Goldster. He's about to give you 8 bets
Oh, is it
on
8?
this
Shit.
Chargers Jaguars game. Let's start with the correlated parlay and the no team to reach, those two bets, before we go into your player props. So let's start with your correlated parlay here in Chargers Jaguars, and then your no team to reach prop. Take it away.
Alrighty, guys. So I'll start this one off. Yeah, I'm going crazy in this game. I thought, you know what, why cap all of them and trying to, pick something off from each game and just sticking to one. And that's what I'm doing here, Jim. I really find this Jacksonville game something I can beat up on. I know this Chargers team pretty well, being a Bronco fan. Good for you, Chargers. You made the playoffs. Let's see how you do. It's the first time they've been there since 2017. But same game parlay, guys. What I'm going to do here is the way these two teams, Jimmy, surprisingly, at first, right when I saw this number, I go, 47. I want to take the over. But the more you look into this game, guys, hit the brakes. No gas. A little break here. They played in week 3. We all know that, right? It was 31-10. There was no Keenan Allen for that game, Jim, and also Eckler only had 4 yards. Looking at what's going on more recently now, the rush defense for the Jags at home is 26th in the NFL. So I'm expecting Eckler. He's gonna have to run the ball a little bit more. And same on the other end for the Chargers, guys. They got a great pass defense, 7th the last 3 games, 10th in on the road. But on rushing, looking at what they do rushing wise, Jesus Christ, they got problems. 26th last 3 games rushing defense, Jimmy, and 28th away. So I'm expecting to actually be a little more rushing here, because both of these defenses are top 10 when it comes to passing defense. If you're looking last 3 and even home road splits, I love doing that in hockey, and that's what I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I think Jacksonville is going to stay in this game. I have a hard time seeing them not staying in this game. They have all their weapons are healthy on the offense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same game parlay, Jim, plus 7.5 and the under 55.5. I don't see this game getting up there. And then Jacksonville, kind of like what Babano had. I heard him having plus 8 on Jacksonville. Yeah, guys, I don't see them blowing this game. Their defense has looked a lot better. They've proven that they can beat this Charger team too, 31-10. I don't think that was a fluke either. So yeah, that's going to be the first bet. The second one's going to be under 30 points scored. There's not going to be a single team, in my opinion, guys, the Chargers or the Jags, that score 30 points in this game, Jim. Minus 127. I just have a really hard time seeing that happen. Jags last 3 games, guys, 2016 against Tennessee, 31-3, 19-3. And then if you're looking at LA Chargers, 31-10, 20-3, 17-14, 23-17, Jim. Both of these teams are not allowing more than 20 points. And if you're also, one more stat here, this is another one I really quite big on, is going to be red zone defense, guys. Red zone defense, Jimmy. Look at this. Red zone defense, just get the stats here. They are 8th in opponent red zone defense, the Chargers, and the Jags are number 1. And that's last 3 games. If you're looking home road splits, the Jags are number 2, only behind, I believe it was Buffalo in that stat. But the Jags, guys, their defense in the red zone has been really good. It's been spot on. I'm going to get to a couple more plays, Jim, as you can hear. That's going to be an addition to some more plays here.
Don't go into the plays yet. I would like to preface them.
Stop me if you have to.
The way I'd like to do this, because I think everything kind of can move in the same direction. So the fact that you are moving no team to reach 30 and you're tying the under with Jacksonville plus 7.5 leads you into your expectation with the red zone statistic that you just dropped that field goals are going to be kicked in this game. So why don't you, before we go over to your rush prop, why don't you talk about your plan with field goal kickers, individual and combined, as well as the first score?
All righty, guys. Yeah, I got a lot of notes here. So when it comes to the field goals here, I just listed off the red zone defense, Jimmy. So thanks for stopping me there, because that's exactly how this all correlates. I don't see there being as many touchdowns in this game. If you can find a touchdown under, guys, I don't mind that as well. But where I looked in this game was to be over 3.5 field goals made at plus 125. Expecting a lot of I don't see as much offense like all these other teams or all these other cappers might expect in this game. The red zone defense, and then looking at offense too, guys. Some more stats for you here. 19th touchdown red zone scoring offense. So LA Chargers are 19th in the red zone scoring away. And then looking at the Jacksonville, Jimmy, they're 25th at home. So both teams are not the strongest in the red zone, home road splits, and then the defense should shine here. So that's why, guys, I really want to look at the field goals. So over 3.5 plus 125. And then these kickers. Don't usually take some kickers, but you know what? Pub Sports Radio, we're giving you guys all the angles here. So Cameron Dicker, this guy's the kicker for the Chargers. He's been really good. 23 of 24 on the season, Jim, since this kid's been called up. He's been really good. So if he has the opportunity, which I do think he is, he's not going to miss these kicks. The weather's going to be fine too. We got to bring up the weather if we're talking kickers. 51 Fahrenheit. It's going to drop a little bit, but the wind shouldn't be that bad here in Jacksonville. So yeah, right away, guys, 23 of 24 for Cameron Dicker. And then looking at Patterson on the other side, that's going to be the kicker, Riley Patterson for the Jags. He's made at least 2 field goals in his last 6 of 7 games. So right away, that I like that. Everything correlates. I really didn't try and force this one. I know a lot of kicking AMDR. I know, right? It's not something you really want to root for in a game, but the way I'm looking at these stats and the way these games have been going the last few weeks, it's going to be a grind fest. I really think the defenses are surprisingly going to show up here. I was quite surprised with the red zone defense, especially with the Jags. They're going to make it tough on Herbert. Both of these quarterbacks too, guys. It's their first playoff game. If I'm not wrong, Jimmy, this is both Herbert and excuse me, Lawrence first playoff game. So I expect some mistakes to be there, and with strong defenses, expect not as many touchdowns, guys. So field goal kickers over 1.5 is where we're looking at here, Jim. Plus 100 on both sides, Patterson and Dicker there. So we have 3 plays. Actually, I have 4 if you want me to get into the 4th one here, Jim.
Well, you have 5, right? Because you have Patterson, you have Dicker, you have the total field goals made over 3.5.
Yeah.
And then you have a very interesting, I definitely want you to touch on the first score for each.
Oh, yeah. So I put a half unit on each one of these guys. It's going to be at plus 360, I believe it was.
Yep.
Plus 360. Yep.
Plus 380.
And plus 380 on Jacksonville and on the LA Chargers to score the field goal. First score of the game is going to be a field goal. I really strongly believe that. I used to do this a lot with Denver games when they had a defense similar to these two teams, and you got quarterbacks during their first playoff game. I like this plot, Jimmy. It's plus 380. It's actually dropped a bit since I bet this, but yeah, plus 380, plus 360, first score of the game for either LA Chargers or Jacksonville, guys. If we're seeing field goals now, worst case scenario here, Jim, would be we just see 2 touchdowns in the first quarter, but I strongly disagree there with all the stats and everything I listed off there for you guys. So yeah, let's keep her moving, and field goals left, right, and center here. Final score I'm thinking in this game, guys, is going to be like a 21-17 or 20-17. I don't think it's going to get anywhere close to the 47. So field goals, expect them to be all over the place. So it's going to AOD. How you doing, brother?
I love it, Goldster. I love what you've done with this game. I'm very interested to follow along with your action as well. There's our guy Sharpie in the house with a quick dono. Our guy Sharpie, he will be hosting our first big live bet stream tomorrow. Man, I love my guy Sharpie. Okay, your last spot on the board is a rush prop. This is bet 8 on Chargers, Jacksonville Jaguars. Floor is yours.
All righty, guys. So at all correlation, I capped the shit of this game. You're right. I didn't come in here thinking I was going to take field goal props and all these other crazy unders, but that's just the way it went, right? So last bet of the game is going to be on Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne, I talked about how bad the rush defense was for the LA Chargers. I want to call him San Diego, but anyway, I'm taking Travis Etienne over 76.5, Jimmy, minus 115. When they did play, back in week 3, Robinson, who's now on the Jets, he had 100 yards. He crushed, and then I think Etienne had, it was 45 or 50. So he didn't get nearly as many carries as he's going to have this game. So watch out for Etienne. He should run rampant on this team. If there's a touchdown, I would expect it to be Etienne. I wanted to almost take it, Jim, but it was like minus 130. I didn't want to take that juice on her. So I look for Etienne to rush all over this team, slow the game down, eat up some more clock, which would lead to more unders, and the field goal kickers to come in when the teams. I could see, and the worst case scenario here, Jim, would be we see a lot of the coach for the Chargers is a nut job, but is they go for them on 4th downs. That would be the worst case scenario here. Is if all of a sudden they're going for them on 4th downs, but I think the points are going to be important here. So let's rock and roll there. Travis Etienne over 76.5.
I love it, Goldster. Andrew G looking at that first drive field goal attempt at plus 470. I think the man has enough field goal props for one game, Andrew, but I get your look. I like your look. Let's review our guy Goldster's action. Again, he's had a great season with us, and he's sixth right now, sixth spot out of 21 cappers here on the show, and he's got 8 bets on this game. So we start with the Jacksonville plus 7.5, the under 55.5, correlated parlay at minus 120. No team to reach 30 points at minus 127. Then we get into the field goal props. He's got Patterson over 1.5 field goals at plus 100, Dicker over 1.5 field goals at plus 100, total field goals made in this game over 3.5 at plus 125. He's got first score Jacksonville to be a field goal, first score a Jacksonville field goal at plus 360, or first score an LA Chargers field goal plus 380. And he's got Etienne over 76.5 rush yards at minus 115. Spectacular work, Goldster, all year long. I love seeing you succeed, my friend. You've been great. You've been great. And
if it wasn't for you, Jim, I wouldn't be where I am, brother. So I got to thank you, especially for everything you've done for me over the years, and everyone in the chat for making this happen. Look forward to the next year season. We got an NCAA coming up. Big Ragu, actually. Look forward to Big Ragu and everyone else coming on. Great cappers, top 7. You guys are the best. Jimmy, I'll see you on Thursday, brother.
I love it. There he is, Mr. Goldster. We head from Belleville, Ontario, down to Ocala, Florida for our next guest. And man, does this guy just make us better? He makes us better in every facet of handicapping. Also, just as a man, I just love capping with him. He is so consistent. He's been in the black now 5 shows straight. Not only be that, he's been in the black 8 of his last 9 shows here. He's last year's champion, and this year he's second out of 21 cappers. The greatest bull season of my entire life was just a ho-hum season for him. I beat him by a half unit. Please welcome from Ocala, Florida, the Big Ragu in the house.
It's very humbling hanging around with you, my man. And of course, our great cappers. Shout out to Ian. Shout out to Goldster, our Canadian friends. And of course, you being from Canada. And of course, the great chat that we have. But man, it's a pleasure to be here. And I got a big board today, so we got to get busy, man, because I got a shit ton of plays because, Ian has been spectacular. But Ian, coming after you, my man.
You've been winning and winning and winning, but not gaining because he's been so good. 39-27 is the Big Ragu plus 9.88 units. He's actually having a better season this year, slightly, than he had last year when he was our first champ. Let's get to work, Ragu. A lot of people wanted to talk about this game because it's popping off in an hour and 13 minutes.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really been broken down, but we have official picks here right now. Seattle Seahawks 9-8, 4-4 on the road. San Francisco 49ers 13-4, 8-1 at home. The rain is supposed to start about 25 minutes into the game. The wind is howling. At kickoff, it's 19 miles per hour. It will get down to 15 miles per hour, but there's going to be rain. There's going to be a wind. Ryan Neal will be back. Seahawks safety missed the last 3 games with a knee injury. That's a big deal. For the 49ers, we have a lot of, and I shouldn't say we, but it's hard not to. Eric Armstead is back from his foot and ankle injuries. Javon Kinlaw back. Dre Greenlaw back. Running back Christian McCaffrey, no issue. He was limited earlier in the week. So I'm on the under 43 with confidence. Side, I don't have the confidence on the side. And the reason being is we've spoken about this quite a lot here, that Purdy's been spectacular. 6 straight games, multiple touchdowns. He's been a great, great story. The one team that slowed him up was the only team he's faced that's over 500. That's these Seahawks. And now we get to see a team, and Pete Carroll, who's a good coach, face him a second time. I'm a little nervous about the cover, but I think the Niners can take care of business. Take it away, Ragu. Our first game on the for today's action. First game on your card, Seahawks Niners.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of great stories in this game. With Purdy taking the helm, and I think the comeback play of the year, Geno Smith. He's had great success putting the ball downfield and scoring touchdowns. He's a leader in that category. And but the elements are really going to affect this game. So I was looking for a way to get involved in the game because evidently it's the first game that's going to kick off. So we got to play it some form or fashion, figuring out the easiest way, not the easiest way, but the best way, to get bang for your buck here. As nice as the story is with both teams in actuality, but San Francisco's in cruise control. Purdy's got all the complimentary players around him to kind of, I wouldn't say make things easy for him, but we know about a number 7 pick that's come off the bench and has done real well in the past. We know a guy TB12 is that same individual. But is he ready to take the next step? Who knows? I think it's going to be a great game, but I do like the 49ers to come away with the victory. Whether they get to the number, that's going to be another story. But I think the elements are going to hamper Geno's chances to put the ball down the field. That's what's kind of going to take away a little bit of the zest out of the Seahawks. But one thing I really like in this spot here, I was up on DraftKings, and they got a McCaffrey prop with San Fran win at plus 110. That's an anytime touchdown McCaffrey and a San Francisco win at plus 110. So that's I'm going to punch that ticket, and that's the only ticket I'm punching in this game.
At plus 110, McCaffrey touchdown and win. You called the Lockett touchdown last week at plus 150. That was nice work. McCaffrey touchdown and win for the game that pops off in an hour and 10 minutes for Big Ragu. That's how he gets his card started. Next up is our Saturday night game. Chargers, Jaguars. We've discussed the injuries. We've discussed the market and the spread. Time to hear how Ragu's going to bet it. Floor is yours. Chargers, Jaguars.
Yeah. I'm not going to beat up because Ian and Goldster both touched on a lot of stuff that I like in this game. So I'm not going to reiterate the whole process, and I'm just going to give you the looks that I like on the game. I believe it's going to be a lower scoring game without question. There's nobody that gives up more yards per carry on a rush than San Diego, or I always say San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. So I think that bodes well for the run game of the Jaguars, which I kind of like the ETN props. I didn't hit the home run with the yards total, rushing and receiving. I just looked at a big play capability, on the ground, with them giving up almost 6 yards a carry. I think ETN is very live to pop a big run. So I like ETN to get over 17.5 yards on a long rush at minus 115. And full game, going back and forth, Jags have been really, really hot. I know Staley's made some bonehead moves down the stretch with this team, hurting their passing game a little bit. And I think both teams, would be able to run the ball and going to be hurt on the pass. So that kind of bodes well towards the under, which I'm not going to give that an official play right now. I'll tie it into something else later. But as of right now, I'm going to be on ETN over 17.5 yards, long rush, and I'm going to take the Jags in this spot. I think it's going to be a close game. So I'm going to take the points in this particular spot right here. So I'm going to take the Jags plus 2.5, and I'm going to take ETN over 17.5 long rush, minus 115.
Jags plus 2.5. Let's lock that in for you. Do you think that the players are upset with how Staley's handled Week 18? If Staley had have sat, which what I would have done is what Daboll would have done, Herbert, Derwin James,
they had nothing to play for,
and Keenan Allen Williams would have not played. Do you think that was that part of the reason why you've moved on the Jags, or you were always planning on being on the Jags?
Yeah, well, that kind of played in with the receiver issue, coming out. That kind of pushed me towards the Jags a little bit more here, and I think Peterson is definitely the better coach, and I like what Peterson does on the offense. That's another great story in the league this year too. With the Peterson and Sunshine story. So I think they move forward here. I really do. I think the home field, that's going to play big for them. And if there's one weakness, like you said, it is going to be on the pass. But Jacksonville's got strong offensive line. They're young. They're youngest team. They got real good athletes on both sides, on the line. So I think they can compensate, for some of those, but so can't the Chargers. So Sunshine's got to be on his game. And I like Herbert. Herbert had a magical year last year. Just seems like this team is snake bitten every time something goes wrong for the Chargers, no matter what. So I think this is one of them cases.
Well, Staley's coaching for his life here. We all know that. He loses this game, he's got to be let go for the decisions that were made. So he's coaching for his life, and I've spoken about it, and I won't hammer it again. But the Jags are 26th in defensive DVOA, and something changed with the Chargers after their bye. They were 10th in points allowed per drive, 4th in expected points added per opponent dropback. Their defense changed. Derwin James's versatility started being used, so Staley did do some really nice things with that defense. But let's keep rolling here with Ragu. So Ragu has moved on the Jaguars. He got the -2.5, -108, and Etienne over 17.5, longest rush. That's a very interesting look. All right, we move on to Sunday for the Big Ragu. Giants, Vikings, US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. We talked about the line. I'm shocked because the Sharps have been all over the Giants all week. And for this to be the one game that stays at 3 surprised me with all the sharp money on the Giants. This game is very difficult. I find it very difficult. Maybe you can shine some light on it. Take it away, Giants, Vikings.
Yeah, when I looked at all the numbers on these games, this was the one that jumped off the chart. Like, I couldn't believe it was only 3 points. I figured this would be like a 6 to 8 point game, but lo and behold, we're sitting at 3 still to this day. You know, like you said, sharp money coming on the G-men. But, and this is the play. We're looking at this game, basically where a few weeks back they kicked that 61-yard field goal Joseph did to kind of, get the 3-point win in a game that Jones played really well. And I think Barkley was a little nicked up in that game back in December too. So I think he's a little bit healthier in this spot. And then, like you said, the newfound receivers with Jones and Hodgins and James, they've got some new life put into that passing game because let's face it, the Giants 1-2 punch it's Barkley and it's Jones, outside of that. But then, we maybe we could start seeing a little bit more efficiency from the Giants in the passing game, which I think we'll see this game. And I don't think Jones has to carry the whole team and, make things happen, with his legs, which, that's always the X factor with the Giants. Now, Cousins, he takes more sacks than anybody in the league. And that Giants defensive line with Lawrence, Thibodeau, they're going to be dangerous. If there was a prop for sack props, I would take in this game because I think the Giants, nobody likes to blitz more than Martindale in the league. And I think they're going to bring a lot of pressure to Cousins. And then, we always got to worry about Jefferson and Hawkinson. They had a major big game last time. So I think this game sets up very good for points. When you see a 3-point number with a high 48, there's going to be some scoring going back and forth. And it's probably going to be a last possession type of game here too. But I know the Sharps are on the Giants, and I've been a Giants fan a long time. So I'm going to roll with the Giants here. I'm going to take the Giants. I'm going to take the 3. I'm going to put the 3 in my pocket. And I'm also going to take the Giants with Barkley has got an anytime TD and a Giant win at plus 260.
So the Giants at +3 at -112, and then Giants
win with a Barkley anytime touchdown plus 260.
Anytime touchdown at plus 260. It's I get it. Yeah, your breakdown makes sense. I get it. All right, let's move on to very, very quickly. We can't dwell on this, but why are you not on the over then? Because I'm not sold on the over.
That's a great point. Because I am on the over, but I'm going to use it in a different way.
Okay.
I'm going to use it in my teas after we get to the end.
Okay, cool. All right, let's do it. Let's move on.
I don't like when I play my teasers. I don't like tying them into my single bets. For some reason I've had some rough luck over the years. I wouldn't say bad luck, just some rough luck. So. It's just a superstitious thing for me. Gamblers are very superstitious.
Some of them. I fight against it as much as possible. I want none of that shit in my life. So I was much more superstitious playing sports.
Let's say I'm setting my ways. How's that?
I feel it, and I love it. Yeah. I love it. Let's get into your Monday night action. I hope you can join us. I love the Monday nights with you and Bobano. Cowboys, Buccaneers. I'm so excited that this is our last Monday nighter of the year. This is a thing of beauty. I need Ryan Jensen at center. I need him at center. I can't figure the Bulls. I've spent hours looking at interviews. Now I'm trying to read his body language. It's just stupid. Tell us what's going on with Ryan Jensen, or I'm going to lose my shit. There's a chance that Ryan Jensen doesn't play Monday. And is put on the roster on Tuesday or Wednesday just so they can bring him back, in a future round. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, he avoided the surgery to try to rehab to get to this point. So, I'd be disappointed if he doesn't play today.
Monday, excuse me. Take it away for us. How you making moves, Cowboys, Bucks?
Yeah. Well, we all know the story. Brady's 7-0. We know that nonsense. We know preseason that Tampa had the number 2 rated offensive line, from PFF. They had them, up to that standard. And ever since the season started, that O-line hasn't kind of been, early on in, it's been a makeshift type line. But this is the healthiest they've been all season right here, and it's playoff time. And the Cowboys, you know, they opened up against the Bucks, and you know they had the L. They took the L in Big D. So you know that kind of set the standard for them. You know, and that's when I think that's when Dak hurt his hand, wasn't it? And Cooper Rush came in and took over for him. But anyways, so Dak, you know, the way that the Cowboys have been playing of late, you know, I have questions. Are they the more talented team? I think they are. You know, Parsons, they get Van Der Esch back in this game, so I think we're going to play more of a playoff style football out of TB12 here. I think Dallas has yet to win, I think, a playoff game since 1992 on the road, you know, some stupid shit like that. And, you know, this will be the fourth time that Brady has played up against, or I think Dak has played Brady. So does he go to 4-0? We'll see. It's 0-3 so far. But I think we'll see more of a slow type game. I know you're banking on Jensen's coming back, but I think this is playoff Lenny time. This is what Lenny does in the playoffs. So I'm going to be tied into some of his plays, which I love. I think Brady's not going to have to pass the ball as much. See, the problem with Tampa is they get going early, they commit to the run, then they abort, and then Brady just slings the ball over the field. I've seen it time and time again. You've seen it happen. But I think today we see a little bit more of a deliberate style play from Tampa. I think we're going to see the running game early, and we're going to see it often, unless Dallas, you know, totally shuts it down, which I don't think they will. I think we'll see some success early on from Lenny and the Bucks running the ball. So I like the first half under 22.5. It's something I've been doing. I've been hitting at a pretty high clip. Every now and then I take the L, but I think this is one. I know a lot of people think there are going to be points here. I agree, but I think it starts off a little slow. I think Tampa in the first half gets to the under. And I think also that Lenny is going to get involved. So I like an anytime touchdown at a Lenny plus 125. And I'm going to bank on Lenny's yardage too, reception and rushing yards over 68.5 minus 115.
All right.
And that all ties into this play here. So we know Brady slings the rock around the yard. 42.5 attempts is the over and under. I'm going to play under 42.5 attempts for Brady in this game at minus 110. This you won't hear me say that too often, but here definitely. And I'm going to be on the money line with the Bucks at plus 125. So I got 5 plays in this game. Under 22.5 first half.
Yeah.
Lenny Fournette, total yards 68.5, rushing, receiving minus 115. Anytime touchdown, Lenny plus 125. Brady under 42.5 attempts, and Tampa Bay money line plus 125.
And that first half under 22.5 can still be found at minus 110, but we see books moving. So we see 22s, and there's 21.5s on the board now as well. So, but you can get that 22.5 right now if you like it. So we heard the 5 spots on Ragu's Monday night. That's going to make a sweaty, wild live bet stream with all that action.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Going to be fun. Giants plus 3, Giants win, and Barkley anytime touchdown plus 260. Etienne over 17.5 longest rush at minus 115. Jags plus 2.5 minus 108, and McCaffrey touchdown and the win at plus 110. There's not Flush Allen in the chat. Top Set says I love all those plays. Ragu, go out there.
Got to give you the exotics too, man.
Oh yes, let's do it. Let's do the.
All right. So you were what game were you asking me about the total? The Giants and the Vikings, right, for the over? That's the tease for me. I'm going to tease the under in that game to bring it down to 6 points, and then I'm going to take the Bengals and I'm going to tease them down to 2.5. They're still 8.5. The Bengals?
No, they're at 8 now.
They're at 8. Okay,
well, some books,
I know that's a tricky spot, man. Beware of that game. That's believe it or not, that's the hardest game for me to break down. But I still think they come away with the win. So I'll take them at -2, along with the I'll tease the over down on the total for the Vikings game. And I'm going to give you a special play today, man. I've never done this on camera before, but I'm going to give you a hat trick today, guys. Look, I got the Jags, the Giants, and the Bucks in a hat trick. Give me them 3 teams money line parlay. And I know I'm going to have you busy writing shit down. I got the Jags at plus 115, the G-Men at plus 135, and the Bucks at plus 125. that brings back 1037.
10:37. Cool. I'm just gonna pop it in here to. I'm just gonna pop it into Pinnacle and see what they're offering. That's the Bucks, Giants, and Jaguars,
It's dicey, but I'm gonna roll with it.
and that is Bucks, Giants, Jaguars. Right now, I have 786.
Okay. Oh,
Jaguars
786.
plus
Wow.
160.
This
Giants-
stingy over there.
Giants plus 138. Oh no, that's my bad. I have the Cowboys, not the Bucks. Thank you.
Oh, you
Sorry.
get that out of the machine, man.
Okay, that's plus 1046. Plus 10.
All right, so you got me a couple pennies better. I'll take it.
Plus 1046. Your teasers: New York Giants, Minnesota over 42, and the Bengals -2. Oh, I love it, Ragu. Get that cash. Enjoy your weekend. Can't wait to share the screen with you on Monday. We have 3 live streams on Sunday, and everybody would love to have you just drop in for a little bit on any of them that work
I'll
for
be
you.
home watching the game, so I'll stop in. I'll commit 10 minutes to each one.
Okay, beautiful. That's all. That's perfect. You hear that? Okay, I'll tell the boys. They'll love that. So the Sharpies at 1, then C-Max at 4:30, and then I'm the late one.
Yeah, I think Domi's going on with C-Mac, so that'd
Sweet.
be good.
All right, we love you,
I'll be
Ragu. Thank
much
you for
obliged
sharing.
to hang out with you guys on Monday night for the big game.
It'll be fun. Thank you for sharing your hard work, your angles with us, my friend. Follow Ragu on Twitter at Big Ragu 62. Any last words for the Capper Sport in the show?
Now let's have a day, fellas, and I'll see you guys at the window.
I love it. There he is, the Big Ragu. Chip says, I didn't think you worked Saturdays, Jimmy. I don't usually, but this is necessary because of the skill from our cappers. I'm telling you, when I started doing it, I'm like, these 7 cappers have gone 227 wins, 160 losses, plus 59.76 units on this show. You think we're not going to have a special playoff edition? Let's talk about our next guest. He came in when he joined us the first week. He didn't join us until week 8. He went 6-2 plus 3.88 units. Then week 17, he sweeps the board 5-0 plus 5.16 units. He's only been with us for 5 weeks, but he's 18-10 plus 8.16 units. And he's here for you right now. Please welcome Mr. Bombs himself, Spendy Penny Bombs in the house. Spendy, how are you?
How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Okay, so now Spendy has an interesting spot here. He's got sides. And I think everyone's gonna love the sides that he's on. He also has a big teaser with every game. So we are going to touch on every game. We'll spend less time on the ones that you have they're using on just the teaser. Does that sound good? We can roll like
Cool.
that?
Yeah. No,
right.
Sounds good, man.
So we'll start 4:30 p.m. Eastern. This game pops off in less than an hour. It's the Seahawks Niners. We've talked all about it. This is a part of your teaser, not an individual bet. So tell us your teaser idea here.
Yeah, I just I think with the weather today, with what's going on, I know that everybody's looking towards the under and everything like that. I know everybody's heavily leaning towards this so the 49ers here. But it's an interesting game. I think Pete Carroll's going to have this team ready to be involved in this game. I don't think it's going to be crazy, but I just use Seattle as a 6-point teaser. I tease them up. So whatever it's at now, I think I got it at 15.5 when I did it. Whatever I can get it at now, part of the play there for the teaser. But yeah, I just think that Seattle in this game can definitely keep it within 2 touchdowns. I think I know that they've played each other 2 times already. San Francisco's basically controlled the games. But I really think that this 3rd time around in the playoffs, Pete's going to have this team ready. They're going to try and lock down the run game if they can a little bit. I know that they're not great against it, but they're definitely a little bit better against the pass. So if they can lock that run game down a little bit, get themselves involved in this game. So tease them up 6 points. I think they can be in this game at least 15.5 or 15.
That's the first leg of your teaser, Seahawks plus 15.5. Sweaty Butcher, who's from the Pacific Northwest, says people have to understand this is Seattle-type weather. Advantages with them as far as weather goes. Let's talk about the next spot on your board. Yes, it's part of your teasers, but you're also moving on this money line and spread. Giants, Vikings. Take it away, Spenny.
Yeah, same thing here. Again, we're gonna move the Giants up 6 points. We're gonna move them up to 9. I believe I got it at. I just think I just think that Dayball is a better coach. I think Dayball has shown time and time again this year that he can make adjustments, get this Giants teams ready. This defense looks like they've been rolling. Like Ragu was saying, Thibodeau has been absolutely dominant on that front line. I think they're gonna have Kirk running around. I think they're gonna get a couple sacks on him today. Make some pressure for him. We all know that Jefferson's going to try and do his thing. He's going to huck up and make big plays. These games have been tight. They've been close games. The last game, was a 60-yard field goal, I think it was, for the Vikings to win the game. So it's just, I think at this 3, going up to 9, I think the Giants are definitely going to be involved in this game for a teaser play. But I also think they're live to win this game. I got the Giants at +3. To cover the spread. I got Giants money line again. Touched on, like Ragu was saying, Barkley's back here looking more involved in the offense again, looking healthier. Daniel Jones has been so much more efficient this year. It's hard to say that about Daniel Jones, but he's been efficient, way less turnovers this year. Slayton's been decent. They're looking to get Isaiah Hodgins more involved, the rookie. So they definitely have some options in this offense. And I know that Daboll's going to, create a good game plan for them.
I love it. We can get you the +3 at -112, get you the Giants +138, and Giants +9 is the second leg of your teaser. That concludes Saturday action for Spenny. So he's using the Seahawks at +15.5 in a teaser. Oh, did I just went ahead and sorry, what am I doing here? I skipped. My bad, Spenny. I don't know why I did that.
It's all good.
Okay, sorry, that was my bad. So sorry, let's go back, and I apologize here. And thank you, Vic, for keeping your eye on that. That was my fault. Let's go back to your plan on tonight. My fault, everybody. Chargers, Jaguars, 8:15 p.m. Eastern. This game has a ton of back and forth into what the best way to handle it is. I still think the Chargers take care of business, but I've not heard anybody on this show agree with that. They're all on the other side, and Spenny is one of them. Take it away, Spenny. Chargers, Jaguars.
I just, it's this is definitely the toughest game of the night, toughest game of the weekend. I think it's the Chargers are a great team. I won't doubt that. We know that what Herb can do. We know what this offense can do. The defense has definitely shown a ton of improvement throughout the year. I think this just comes down to the coach. I think that Staley's going to make a bad call throughout this game that's going to cost the Chargers. It's maybe a 4th down call that he shouldn't be doing. Maybe going for a play that he shouldn't have. Maybe kicking a field goal when he should have. I just think that there's something that Staley might do throughout this game that's going to cost the Chargers. Doug Peterson's Super Bowl winning coach. Seems like he's had this Jacksonville team turned around big time, a lot quicker than anybody would have thought. This offense is explosive. This defense has a lot of young athletes that are incredible. I think that this game is going to be tight, definitely, for sure. Be a lot of back and forth plays in this game. But I think Sunshine's gonna come out here and show what he can do down in Jacksonville. Going to take this game. I got Jacksonville plus the 8 or 8.5 for the teaser. And then I also got Jacksonville money line for this game. Again, touching on the Etienne, I think the Chargers are going to have a hard time stopping the run, even if they dump it down to him if they have to. I think that Etienne definitely has a good game. But also, these guys played earlier in the season, and Zay Jones had a monster game, 11 targets, 10 catches, over, I think it was 85 yards and a touchdown. And this is going to be a late addition. I'm going to add in Zay Jones over 49.5 receiving yards at -110.
Zay Jones over 48.5 receiving
49.5.
49.5 receiving yards at -110. You got it. You are locked in. So Jaguars money line, Zay Jones over 49.5 receiving yards -110. That concludes Saturday action. On Sunday, you start with Dolphins Bills, and you're only using this as part of a teaser. You guys may have noticed that this game hasn't come up yet. The Cappers are leaning away from it. It does come up again, though. Don't worry. This does come up again, but let's just discuss it very quickly here. We have 27 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 3 miles per hour. Of course, Tua Tagovailoa out. So is Raheem Mostert. Liam Eichenberg is doubtful with the hand injury, a very important guard. Teron Armstead, the most important guard, has been out for a while now, but he's questionable, not doubtful. Bradley Chubb, questionable as well. Then you have Brandon Shell, another tackle, knee, ankle, questionable. This is just such a beaten up offensive line. They're in big trouble. For the Bills, they're really healthy. They have Isaiah McKenzie with a hamstring injury and Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle, is questionable with a shoulder injury. But
I think Hyde's going to be out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think Hyde. They're going to sit Hyde, I think is what they said. Yeah.
Line history-wise here, the Bills open up -11. Right now they're -14. This total opened up at 43.5. It's now at 43. And when we go over to the cash flow for this one, we have Buffalo 76% of the tickets, 85% of the cash. And then 34% of the tickets on the under and 41% of cash. So it does look like there's some sharp money on that under. Take it away for us here. It's part of a teaser leg for you. The floor is yours, Spendy.
Yeah, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on this game just with all the issues that is going on with Miami. I don't really think that Miami would be heavily involved in this game. I just as a play to have all the games involved, I'm definitely using Buffalo. I'm going to tease them down to, I think it was 7 when I got it, but it's 7.5. I think it would be now. So I will. I'll take that on the teaser parlay that we have going on, because I just think the Bills dominate this game. But again, if I can get a couple extra points, I'll take it.
The 13.5 widely available still, even though some books have moved it to 14. The sharper books have moved it to 14. We already talked about the Giants +3 at -112. Giants money line +138, and using it as a teaser with the Giants +9. So next up for our guy Spenny is the AFC wildcard, Ravens, Bengals, Paycor Stadium, Cincinnati, Ohio. This is also part of the teaser for you. Take it away. The floor is yours.
Yeah, again, just some issues going on with Baltimore here. Lamar just not playing it makes this game definitely a lot less competitive. I still think the Ravens can be in this game a little bit. I think that defense will definitely step up and try and do whatever they can to keep them involved in this game. But me with Cincinnati, I'm high on Cincinnati again this year. I got Cincinnati to win the AFC. I got Cincinnati going to the Super Bowl. I got Cincinnati facing up and a couple of other parlays with teams from the NFC. So I'm really high on Cincinnati here. I think they take care of business at home and continue this into the playoffs, deep into the playoffs here. This run, I think they're one of the deepest teams that they have in the AFC. That offense is incredible. I don't see many teams being able to stop Joe Burrow and Chase and Higgins and Boyd and Mixon when everybody's healthy and rolling. And the defense has definitely been an understatement this year, but they're showing up every week. They're making good plays. I think they just are playing as a cohesive unit, the best so far right now. So again, give me the Bengals 2.5 on the teaser with the 6 points.
Yeah, we got that. That's down to 8, so we got that for you at 2. And I'm right with you. I moved on them at +400 with the AFC and +750 for the Super Bowl. So the game next week will be I'll be highly anticipating this. The Bengals at Buffalo Bills. Hopefully we get that opportunity. Sure. Next for you, Spenny, your final game on the board is the Monday Nighter. The Monday Nighter, and you have side and teaser. So take it away, Cowboys, Buccaneers.
Yeah. Again, I got to roll with my guy Brady. I just the way that he's taking care of business against Dallas. Just another interesting thing about Dallas this year and in general, but this year alone, they're 1-4 not on the turf, so on natural grass fields. The production from the team on either side of the ball has dipped down quite a bit. So going into Tampa here, I think they might have a little bit of struggle on the turf. It's just kind of a side thing, but I just think Brady's gotten the job done. As soon as he gets into the playoffs, we know what this guy's going to try and do and get his team ready to go. It seems like this offense is starting to click again. Him and Evans are starting to find their spots again. I just don't believe in the Cowboys. I have never believed in the Cowboys. I'm just going to keep trusting the guy that I know that can get things done in the playoffs, regardless of how they played throughout the regular season. I know Jensen's a big issue for you. It would be nice to have him in for sure. But it looks like this offense is still capable of definitely moving the ball on this team. And I think Lenny and Rashad White. I think Rashad White for some dump down plays again in this game would be an interesting look. I'm not sure what it's at, but if you were to look at Rashad White for like receiving props or something like that, I think he would be a good part in this game for sure.
Bucks, we can get that for you.
And I got the Bucks money line. Sorry.
Yeah,
well
plus 125. You weren't making any player props official for this?
No, not for this one. Yeah.
Bucks plus 125. The teaser is plus 500. That teaser is Seahawks plus 15.5, Jags plus 8, Bills minus 7.5, Bengals minus 2, Giants plus 9, and Bucks plus 8.5. I've never thought about doing that. And I don't bet teasers, but it's a fun way of doing wild card week, especially over 3 days.
Yeah, if you think that all those guys are going to win or be involved or be those kind of games, I think it's interesting for a decent price as well. And then I did have a 3-team one with the Bucks, the Jags, and the Bengals all at 6 points as well.
Are you making that official here? Okay. Sorry, I didn't have that one. So that one is the Jags plus 8. Was it what's next?
The Bucks plus 8.5.
Okay.
And then the Bengals minus 2.5. I think it was plus 150.
Bengals, which will be minus 2 now to do it live here.
Minus 2.
Okay, plus 150. Okay, I love it, Spendy. Excellent work. That week 17 board sweepage 5-0. You've been so impressive all year. 18-10. Spendy is right now. Excellent work. Thank you for sharing your hard work with us, my man. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Just to appreciate everybody showing out every week, and love to see you guys in here. We got a big crowd today. This is it's a big weekend. Let's get it. Let's get to it, guys.
Let's get that cash. There he is, Spendy Penny Bombs. We head from Toronto, where Mr. Bombs resides, down to South Jersey for your next guest. He will be starring on our UFC stream all night long. Thank you for making the time for us here right now. He is also going to be on the Sharpie live bet stream for a half tomorrow, 1 p.m. And then he's rocking with me on Sunday night. Myself, LJ, and Toite Latte on Sunday night. Please welcome Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, how are you, my man?
Man, busy day. But another day to get to some money. We got to be quick here, man.
Let's get to work, Brizzy. You start with your NFC wild card. It pops off in 39 minutes. Seahawks, 49ers. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I gave this one out on Sharpie Show yesterday. Ray McLeod under a half of receiving yard, minus 130 at BetMGM. This boy ain't going to have no catches. One route last week with Debo back. Projected no more than 3 to 4 routes. So basically a bet for him to have no catches, minus 130. It's going to be a sweater, but free money.
Under a half receptions.
No, receiving yards. No.
Oh, receiving yards.
Yeah, no catches, Jimmy. No catches.
Oh, wow. Okay, sorry. Under a half receiving yards at minus 130. Ooh, digging deep into the vault for this one. This is wild shit.
Team of the weekend, man. It's the team of the weekend.
This is wild. Brizzy's been excellent this year. 26-20 plus 5.61 units. He was excellent all year last year. So he's back-to-back top 5 finishes in NFL pop-up. Very impressive. Very impressive. So Ray McLeod under a half receiving yard at minus 130. And that's your only look on that one?
No, Christian McCaffrey over 73.5 rushing yards, minus 120 at Bet365. Gets a great matchup versus Seattle. He gives up 152 yards per game on the ground, 30th in the NFL. Last time these two teams met, he had 26 rush attempts for 108 yards. Bad weather. I like the game script for Christian McCaffrey here since week 10. Seattle has been allowing 4.96 yards per carry towards the running back position. So McCaffrey's going to break one to that.
Was that 73.5?
73.5 at Bet365.
Minus 110?
Minus 120.
Minus 120. Okay. Locked in. So you got Ray McLeod under a half receiving yard, McCaffrey over 73.5 rush yards. Anything else?
Yeah, Cody Barton over 8.5 tackles and assists at minus 120. Seattle linebacker. I usually don't play defensive props ever, but Seattle's lead linebacker, Jordan Brooks, is out. Barton should be replacing Brooks as the lead defensive signal caller. In his first year starting, he's totaled 136 tackles and assists this season. In the 2 previous meetings versus the 49ers this year, he's had 11 and 10 combined tackles and assists. With the 49ers being massive favorites, I think Barton should see an increase in production based on game script, and he covers the 8.5 tackles and assists.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And he should be on the field for more than 30 minutes of this football game if it goes the way we expect it. So, and there could be a ton of opportunities from the fourth quarter if the Niners are trying to slow it down. This is interesting. Look, Barton over 8.5 tackles assist. Was that a minus 110?
Minus 120.
Minus 120. All right. Anything else for you in Seahawks Niners?
Nope, 3 bets in that one.
I love it. All right, we move on to the next spot on the board. Chargers, Jaguars, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Take it away. Floor is yours.
Yeah, we're going Keenan Allen over 6.5 receptions at minus 150. A little bit juicy, but if it's broke, don't fix it. The Jaguars have been acceptable to slot wide receivers this year. They have allowed the 9th most receptions to opposing slot wide receivers and 8.5 yards per target. And since Keenan Allen's return in Week 11, he's averaged 7.4 receptions and 82 yards per game with a 27% target share and 10.3 targets per game, especially without Mike Williams in this one. I think that's going to boost Keenan Allen's receptions props and Austin Eckler.
Keenan Allen over 6.5 receptions, minus 150. What's next for you in Chargers, Jags?
We're taking the Jaguars money line here. It's wild card weekend, and the theme to every tournament, every contest, every playoffs is there is one hot team that rolls into the playoffs, and not only do they roll into the playoffs, they roll past that first round, and the Jaguars are the hottest team in the playoffs right now. They've won 6 of their final 7 games. They're hot right now. I'm riding with them at home over a questionable Chargers team. I got the Jags plus 120 money line.
Jaguars plus 120. Keenan Allen over 6.5 receptions. You are in business. And do we move on from that one?
Yeah, we move on to Sunday night.
Sunday action here. We start Sunday 1 p.m. Eastern for you. Dolphins, Bills. How are you making money here?
Yeah, we're taking the Buffalo Bills first half over 14 total points, minus 140 at FanDuel. With Skylar Thompson out there for the Dolphins, I expect the Bills to get up early in this one. They are more than capable of covering that first half spread of minus 7.5. With the over-under is juiced towards the over here. The books are expecting the Bills to come out hot, and I agree with the line makers here, so I'm going to get in, get out.
That was first half team total over?
First half over 14 team total points.
Over 14 flat. What was the juice?
Minus 140.
Minus 140 for Bills. First half team total over 14 at minus 140. I did end up moving on the Bills first half minus 7, so I'll be looking for exactly what you were looking for. Is there anything else you're adding to Dolphins Bills?
Yep. James Cook over 37.5 rushing yards, minus 115 at FanDuel. This kind of correlates with the first play. This game script is going to set up for Cook over Singletary here. Cook's coming off a season high in snaps while Singletary played a season low in snaps. Cook had 20 carries for 144 yards in the Bills' last 2 games. So they're kind of leaning towards the rookie here, and I think he rolls in this game.
Cook over 37.5 rush yards and minus 115. I like this look. And you have Bills first half team total over 14, minus 140. Anything before the afternoon action?
No, sir.
Afternoon action, Giants, Vikings, US Bank Stadium, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Take it away. How are you getting paid?
Yeah, we're looking at TJ Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions at minus 125 at BetMGM. He had a monster first game versus the Giants, 13 catches for 109 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Giants ranked 31st in DVOA versus tight ends. Hawkins has had 5+ catches in 7 out of 9 games for the Vikings this year, with 9+ targets 6 different times over that span. He's the security blanket here for Cousins, and the Sharps are hitting the Giants, so they think that the Giants are going to be up in this one. So if the Vikings are going to passing game script, that sets up for Hawkinson even more. I think the Giants are going to have to scheme for Jefferson this time around. They can't let him do what he did the first time around. So Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions, minus 125.
You got that locked in. What else are you looking at in Giants Vikings?
Isaiah Hodgins anytime touchdown plus 280 at FanDuel. We would be this fucking respectful if we did not put some respect on my guy's name. He's had a touchdown 4 out of the last 5 games for the Giants, all in the red zone, and he scored his first touchdown this year against the Vikings in the last game. So I got to rock with my guy. It was plus 350 last time, but now we're rocking with it at plus 280.
Isaiah Hodgins, I get it. I get it, and I understand why the books are dropping the price down to 280. Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions. Hodgins anytime touchdown plus 280. Anything before the night game?
No, we're going to the Ravens Bengals.
I love it. Ravens, Bengals, and you can catch Brizzy rolling with me live for the Sunday nighter. Ravens, Bengals, take it away. How you getting paid?
Ravens, Bengals, we're going with Joe Mixon under 85.5 rushing receiving yards at -115. We always bet overs, but some of these unders on these stud players are going to end up coming through. And some offensive line injuries here for the Bengals, a tough run defense that you're going to be going up against the Ravens. And P. Ryan's still getting a lot of snaps, 25 to 40% of the passing game snaps. So I think Joe Mixon's going to go under that 85.5 rushing receiving. That's a little bit too high for him.
I love it. I love the look. Under 85.5 rushing receiving at -115. If they are up, 15, 20 points, and they're just trying to run the clock, and it looks like the game's in hand, looks like Huntley can't move the ball offensively, there's nothing to worry about. Why would you even have Mixon as being the one who's going to run between the tackles with 6 or 7 minutes left? Keep him healthy. Keep him ready for next week. I don't even know if he'll be, the RB1 with 7 minutes left if the game is in hand. So I love it. I think this is a great look. James S. joining us. We got Andrew G. Sanka. Great to see all you guys. Leo said it. Mixing under 85.5 rushing receiving. Anything else you're looking at?
No, but I mean, there'll be some leans. I'll probably add a couple plays tomorrow. Probably like a anytime touchdown prop for T. Higgins or something like that. But nothing official.
I love it. So you guys can join us. We'll start that live stream at 8:00. So we'll be ready to rock there. Cowboys, Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. Our last Monday nighter of the season, and it's going to be a beauty. How are you getting paid?
Dalton Schultz over 38.5 receiving yards, -120. Schultz has gone over 37.5 receiving yards in 7 out of the last 15 games this season. Tampa struggled to cover tight ends this year, allowing the 13th most receiving yards and 9 touchdowns this season. And, going back to Dallas's last playoff game, reading into some of the stats and stuff like that, Schultz played really well. He was the most reliable target, man. He had 7 catches for 89 yards in their last playoff game. And I feel like with the recent concerns of Dak's interceptions, I think he's a little bit more safe here and go over the middle here for Dalton Schultz.
That was 38.5 at -120?
Yes.
38.5, Dalton Schultz receiving yards, -120. Anything else you're looking at for the Monday nighter?
Yeah, Tony Pollard, anytime touchdown, +185. Pollard's about to do these boys up, man.
Anytime touchdown. And what was that? Plus
185.
Ooh, that's juicy for Pollard, +185. Schultz over 38.5 receiving yards. Pollard, anytime touchdown, +185. Anything else for the Monday night?
No. I got to get ready, man. Jimmy Flick's about to come on the screen. It's about to go down. UFC Vegas 67. We're right on the horizon. Shouts to Jimmy the Brick Flick. If you're riding with me, let's cash this +300 and this 12-1 submission round 1 prop.
Ooh, I love it. Is that the first fight?
First fight of the night.
Shit, you're starting 19 minutes on you. Okay, shit. Let's get you over there. Schultz over 38.5 receiving yards. Tony Pollard, anytime touchdown, +185. I love it. Brizzy going for the big score in seconds here while this is going on simultaneously over our show. Mixon under 85.5 rush and receiving yards, -115. Hodgins, anytime touchdown, +280. Hawkinson over 4.5 receiving yards. Over 4.5 receptions at -125. Then he's got Cook over 37.5 rushing yards, -1. Cook. Yeah, sorry. I got
-115.
Yeah, -115. He's got Bills first half team total over 14 at -140. Jaguars money line +120. Keenan Allen over 6.5 receptions at -150. He's got Barton over 8.5 tackles and assists here in 28 minutes, -120. McCaffrey over 73.5 rush yards. Ray McLeod under a half receiving yard. Right there. Our man, Brizzy, who's been excellent, as always, 26 and 20 plus 5.61 units. Both Brizzy and Ragu are going back-to-back with over 20 cappers in each season. Back-to-back top 5 finishes for you two. Spectacular work. Thank you for sharing the time with us. And go over to the UFC stream and get that cash, my man. Can't wait to rock with you again tomorrow, my guy.
Let's get it, man. The big hitters come out for the playoffs, baby. So we're throwing the volume out here, Babano style. So we're coming for you, Babano.
I love it. I love it. There he is, our guy, Billy Brisbane. We go from South Jersey to Long Beach, California. The top 7 performer here with the least amount of action. He's done this plus 4.32 units in 5 weeks, but only 18 bets. He's 11 and 7 plus 4.32 units. As sharp as they come. Please welcome to the show the man making unders great again. Noli Knows in the house. Noli, how are you, my man?
Doing real well, Jimmy. Thanks for having me. Thanks for extending the list to top 7 to squeeze me in there. I appreciate that. You know, lists are top 5 typically, Jimmy, but I'll take it, and I'm ready to rock, man.
You were top 5, but you hit the sauce a little heavy last week. Didn't get to add to it, and you were usurped.
Yeah, those overbetters got to me. You know.
You were usurped. Let's get right to work because Noli, you have action here in a game popping off in 26 minutes. Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers. Take it away, my man.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game. Big Niner fan myself, so can't wait for this game. But going into it, as far as my bets here in this game, these two teams very familiar with each other. You look at the 49ers and what they've done against this team, they've only allowed one offensive touchdown against Seattle in the 2 games that they've played. You look at last time that they played, held Seattle just 4 of 13 on third down, just one TD just the one TD, like I mentioned. But one thing that I look at in those games is the way Seattle's been able to step up defensively, more so in the second half. Niners putting up 20 points in the first half, but only a touchdown in each one of those games in the second half. A bit of concern for me looking at it as a Niners fan. You're going to have to run the ball against this team with Seattle because they've got 2 really good DBs. They've been holding receivers down to a 78.3 rate. That's second in the NFL. Michael Jackson and Tariq Woolen been doing their thing back there. Tariq Woolen has the most turnovers in the NFL this season, and a duo that's not really been talked about all year long. They hold receivers down. They've been able to hold these Niners receivers down. The big concern is what McCaffrey does on the ground. I keep hearing this weather, but I'm not seeing much rain, and my concern is that the rain just really is not coming the way that we expected it, because we're getting pounded right now, and I think the weather came a little bit further south. So I'm not concerned about that, though, because I'm not betting it just on weather. I'm betting it on how these teams attack each other, 2 teams that know each other very well. The Niners are going to try to look to run the ball and establish the run. That's the way that they're going to have to do it. The Seattle Seahawks allowing 4.7 yards per carry, 102.7 passing rating to the running back. So McCaffrey should do his thing, both running and passing, but receivers getting shut down, maybe a slower, more methodical pace. Seahawks are going to struggle to score. They have only scored under 20 points in 3 of their last 4 games. I like this matchup to stay under once again for the 3rd time.
I love it. I've been on it the first 2 times, and I have no fear moving on it again. For me, it's more about Brock Purdy. Look, I love the story. I love it all. But he only faced one team over 500. That was these Seahawks. They slowed him down. And then, you know, I want to see him go up against the team a second time. And this is I'm not saying that it's all a mirage or anything like that. But I feel like this is a great opportunity.
Well, I mean, there's not a whole lot of pressure on Purdy. That's the thing, you know. Yak is the biggest word of the day for the Niners. You know, all these guys get yards after the catch, and he just got to dump it off and go. And so that's why I think that maybe he can be successful.
I love it. No, I absolutely love it. That under 42, we can get you at -102. That's available right now. Noli's next spot is the game that follows this one. Chargers, Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. Take it away, Noli. Floor is yours.
Yeah, this is a interesting game. Both quarterbacks making their first postseason start, 2 young quarterbacks, and that's what everybody's emphasizing on. But what I look at more so is these defenses. I think the defenses for these teams are the reason that they're here. That's the reason that the Jaguars are here. It wasn't Trevor Lawrence throwing a game-winning touchdown. It was the defense getting the game-winning touchdown, and that's what's getting them here. They've been really good, and the concern for the Chargers here that the Jaguars are the second best versus pass catching running backs. They have yet to allow a running back to catch a touchdown, and that's a big part of the Chargers offense. They're holding those running backs to just an 80.4 rate. That's second in the NFL. So that's, like I mentioned, that's a big concern. And when you see what they were able to do last week against the Titans when their season was on the line, on the season they've got a 32.9% pressure rate, which is 3rd in the NFL. And you look at last week, 4 sacks, 13 hits on Dobbs. So they're coming. And are the Chargers able to protect them? I don't know. I think there's going to be a concern, but I think this game's going to be quite a bit different than last time they played. Got to remember, Herbert was unable to practice, dealing with rib injury, so his mobility was gone. But missing Mike Williams is a big problem. And but what I like out of the Chargers is that the fact that their defense, the way that they've been playing, and they're healthy. Khalil Mack and Bosa haven't been on the field all that much. Here they are together on the field today. Gonna help against that rush. Everybody knows that they've been off all year. They've been a lot better with them two together. And Michael Davis has been excellent in the DB. So I expect this game to be a lot slower pace, and being that this first postseason start and the first round of playoffs, a lot more conservative here than you would see in the regular season. I think the 47, is just inflated due to the regular season. I actually got 47.5, but I know it climbed down today. I'll take whatever you could give me.
It really hasn't. It's under 47. Well, a little bit, minus 102. I'd been humming and hawing on this and wanted to move on it. I was actually going to focus on the Jaguars team total under until the Mike Williams announcement came. And then I saw your picks. And when I saw your picks, I was like, oh, I'm gonna roll with Noli on this. So I bet this after seeing your picks. I needed a push in the right direction. You gave it to me. I'm on both these unders with you today. I moved on the under 43 on Tuesday. But I needed it. I wanted it. And I saw your action. I was like, look, I'm rolling with my man, Noli Knows. Noli Knows. Next up for you is my Sunday night live stream show, Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. We'd love to have you make an appearance on the show if you are available tomorrow night. No pressure at all, but the fact that you're moving on it makes it more fun to have you on it. Take it away here for us, Noli. Ravens, Bengals.
Yeah, Ravens, Bengals, real exciting. Another divisional game. So no love lost between these two teams. Something I forgot to mention even with the Niners. I remember Fred Warner's pregame speech before they played last time. He's the very first thing he said, we hate these motherfuckers. And it's the same thing here once again. Sorry for cursing on your show. I know it's very G-rated usually. But the same thing with the Ravens and Bengals here. No love lost, man. Bengals last week were complaining about cheap shots being taken against their players. This is going to be a hard-fought physical game. And the big difference from last week is that all the Raven players are playing. And that's going to be a big problem for the Bengals offense. This is a Bengals offense that, they succeed and they do great things, but it's a lot different when you're going against a divisional opponent that knows what you're doing. When you even hear Joe Burrow talk about that, they know what we're trying to do. They know what our bread and butter is, and they do a good job of taking it away. If he's telling me they do a good job, that means they do a great job. And I look, they were able to produce some points in that first half, but you look, 3 turnovers gave them points. One of them literally gave them a touchdown. And in the second half of that game, in 8 possessions, they had 5 3-and-outs, a fumble, a turnover on downs, and a field goal. And they only had 1 first down. The Cincinnati Bengals only recorded 1 first down the entire second half of that game with the Ravens. And here they are at full capacity. I don't expect the Bengals to be this high-flying team that everybody's accustomed to seeing. I think the Ravens are going to make this an ugly game. This is not a good offensive team by any means on the Ravens side of the ball. They're going to have Huntley behind center. He's gone under 140 pass yards in all 4 of his starts this season. That's going to be awful. But their Ravens defense has been good all season. Points per game, they're 3rd. Red zone, they're 2nd. And 3rd down percentage, they're 5th. They've allowed under 215 passing yards in 4 of the last 5 games. This total is low, and it's low for a reason. I think it's going to be a hard, ugly fought game. I like the under here. This is probably my favorite play, though.
Ooh, I'm interested in it. I'm very interested in it. I love.
And also here, last note.
Yeah.
Right side of the O-line is starting 2 backups after losing their right guard last week, and they lost their right tackle on December 24th.
Yeah. Kappa and Lyle Collins.
Yeah, so that's a big thing, the whole right side, and I think the Ravens start to pick on that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Our guy Noli Knows. We have an under 40.5. All of these all of the VIG is from 5 dimes, and they're all juiced to the over. So he's got minus 102 VIG on all of these. So he's got the under 40.5 in Baltimore Cincy. That's his favorite one. Under 47 at minus 102 in Chargers Jags, and the same under 42 in Seahawks 49ers. Noli, we love you, my man. Thank you for sharing your time and hard work with us. And I love seeing you on the Chargers under. That pushed me to join you. Go out there and get that cash, Mr. Noli Knows. Follow Noli on Twitter at Noli Knows. Any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Oh, thank you for having me. Thanks for listening, and bet those unders.
I love it. There he is. Noli Knows. Our final guest of the day is our guy, Connor Mack Picks. But first, before Connor Mack Picks, we have a special guest who wants to give us a little update on membership and other things here, coming to us also from Long Beach, California. Please welcome our guy, MMA Locker Room, Millsy in the house. So let's get Millsy in here. Millsy, what's up, my man? Great to see you. What did you want to drop for the chat?
Man, how we all doing today, man? Shout out to Jimmy the Bag, man. This is just one of the best shows out on a Saturday. Came here to give y'all some playoff plays, right? Nope, not here for that, man. I'm here to tell y'all about the UFC contest that's going down. It's free. You don't got to be a membership or anything like that. And it's so easy. I mean, it's so easy you could technically do it in your sleep. So this is what you do. You just pull your phone out and you go to the Pub Sports Radio link right here. Go to the little top button where it says Enter Contest. Enter in your picks. Pick your fighter. And that's it. And you'll win. You're either going to win some cash money or some prizes. Beyond that, we got a membership going on out there. We know a lot of you guys love to support us and always ask, how can I support you guys? Well, we made it easy. It's $4.99 a month. It breaks down to 17 cents a day, and that membership, you get certain perks. A lot of stuff we're just rolling out on the carpet, but that's the easiest thing you could do to support us besides hitting the like button. But if you like free money and if you like betting on fights and picking them right, enter in the UFC contest going down tonight. It's free. The leaderboard right now, I forget who it is, but it ain't me. So who knows, man? If you guys can get it right, you might get some money tonight.
I love it, Millsy. I love it. Great to see you, my man. I know you'll be rocking that stream over at UFC, so go out there, get that cash, and thank you for taking the time to hang with us, Millsy. Follow our guy, Millsy, on Twitter at MMA Locker Room, at MMA Locker Room, and he'll be on our other stream here all night. All right, let's close up today's show with a man who had a spectacular week 18. He went 6-1 plus 5.05 units. The only loss was on Deshaun Watson anytime touchdown, a plus 450 dart. It wasn't he was spectacular last week. He's ranked 4th overall out of 21 cappers here, 31-25 plus 6.20 units. We are rolling in Las Vegas with this one. Please welcome to the show, Connor Mack Picks in the house. C-Mac, how are you, my man?
James E. Bag. What's up, my guy?
What's happening? What's happening? And you have action right now popping off in 14 minutes. Enough time for everybody to lock in their bets. Seahawks 49ers. You have a total, and then you have 2 player props. Take it away. The floor is yours, my man.
Yeah, let's just get to the total. I'm on the under in this one. I got the hook, but give me the best number you could get here, Jimmy. I think there's a 108, or can you find something better?
102, but I'm going to see what I can get.
Okay.
If I can find a 47.5, I'm going to shop around here. But talk to us why you like it.
Oh, best defense, I think, out there, just about. I mean, I think the best defense. I know the weather. There's supposed to be that bad weather. That only helps it. I don't know how Seattle scores, really, more than 10 points in this one. So looking at Seattle team total, even under here. But I'm going with the unders. I could see 49ers. It's still Brock Purdy's first playoff start. So, there's still, I think they want to take it easy with him. And, 27-10. I don't even know if they get that. So it's under City here for me.
I love it. And you can get the 42.5.
What's the
minus 110?
All right, I'll take it then. If you get
that's
110.
available
Okay.
right now at Pinnacle. I'm going to even message Noli and see if he wants that instead of the 42. I gave him minus 102. Under 42.5 and minus 110. Then you go to player props. Take it away.
Yeah, this one I grabbed late last night, early morning. McCaffrey. He had a huge game. I don't know what he had, like 120 24 carries, 110 yards the first meeting. Similar. Hand the ball off to this guy. And I think he can break one or two. I don't mind. Maybe if you look at his longest run, I kind of glanced at that, but over 73.5, and this has only moved forward in a lot of books. So I think he at least gets close to that 100 again. Just hand him the rock. Don't get hurt, period. There. Okay, and last, this is the one I just messaged Nutflush. I saw him in the chat. Is Ayuk here. Since Purdy, 5 of 6 games, he's gone over this with him. The lone one was Seattle. I'm worried about the weather here, so I took it off. I saw him love it in the chat, and I'm going to roll with it. And guess what? I found 40.5, by the way. So 40.5 Ayuk receiving yards over. I'm going to roll with it.
That's Ayuk 40.5.
Ayuk, yeah.
Ayuk 40.
Sorry.
It's all good. Ayuk 40.5 receiving yards at -110. So he's on Ayuk, he's on McCaffrey, and the under. That's how C-Mac is beating up the Seahawks-Niners game. It pops off in 11 minutes. We're 11 minutes away. 11 minutes away from our first playoff game of the year. And shout out to Swiss Horton being helping us get those likes. We now have 100 likes. Our guy Swiss Horton fighting the good fight for us. I respect Swiss Horton. So 3 moves on the game that pops off here in 11 minutes. Even more possibly on the night game, 3 for sure, and a possible 4th. Take it away, C-Mac. Chargers, Jaguars, AFC wildcard, 8:15 tonight.
I'm on the Jags here, money line. I'm not even going to take the 2.5, and I think this is a close game. Obviously, the first meeting, Jags rolled them. Herbert was banged up. I think the best numbers 125. I see a 126 at circa, but yeah. Money line here. Let's get to my player prop. I just think the game's back and forth. I don't want the Chargers. Maybe they're a little bit the better team on the road. Don't love the coach. We know about Staley. I don't want him. This should be a great battle. 2 young quarterbacks. But give me the hottest team in the NFL, Jacksonville Jaguars, and a playmaker. And that gets right to my props with Lawrence. I know he's got a kind of a stub toe, but this is the playoffs, baby. Come on. You got to run for first downs. You got to get it. And he kind of hasn't ran a little bit lately because of that toe. But I think he's running tonight. So give me his over 13.5 rushing yards here, -115. I think he breaks a few of them here, there. And by the way, I'm adding this. This is the last week anyways. So I need something big. Give me his anytime touchdown. I got +330 here with it.
Ooh. I like it. Anytime touchdown for Trevor Lawrence. Over 13.5 rush yards, -115. Anytime touchdown, +330 going for it. I like it. You have more in store here.
Let me touch on the other side here.
Yeah.
We know they got to get it to Allen. He's the guy now. And since he's been back, even before that, November 20th, I looked at his catches, but 6.5. He has been getting the target and catches. I saw our guy Billy Briz on it. I didn't love the juice. I don't really want 150. If you're going to tell me he's going to catch 7 or 8 balls, he's getting over 80.5 receiving yards. And these are 49, 94, 88, 92, 86, 104, 60, and 102. That's 6 of the last 8. I think he's got to be the guy. And I just went with Lawrence. I think he's one, too. You could look at his anytime touchdown. I'm close to it. It's something maybe I do live as well. He's right around +145, 150. I'm just going to take this. I think he's got to be the guy for the Chargers.
Keenan Allen over 80.5 receiving yards at -110. You said that you were humming and hawing over Austin Eckler. What did you decide to do about that?
Yeah, so I'm on Allen. I'm going to roll with Eckler in the end. No Williams, and I think Herbert, he just dumps it off. It's just what he does. I think the number was pretty sharp, but in a playoff game, I think they want to get him the ball, get him a few screens, get him the ball a little bit more. So the catches, though, 5.5. I don't want to rely on 6. It was plus money at 115. I'm on the over 37.5, -110.
Over 37.5 receiving yards at minus 110 for Austin Eckler. So 5 bets for C-Mac in Chargers, Jags. Jags money line. Lawrence over 13.5 rushing yards. Anytime touchdown plus 330. Keenan Allen over 80.5 receiving yards. Eckler over 37.5 receiving yards. That brings us to the Sunday night live stream. The game just prior to this, a very exciting Giants Vikings. C-Mac will be hosting that live bet stream. It'll be such an interesting game, and it rolls into our Ravens Bengals night game that I'll be hosting. And you've made 3 bets on 2 players here for player props. So you're focusing on the Cincinnati Bengals. Ravens Bengals, take it away for us, C-Mac.
Yeah, let's get to one. I'll hit that afterwards, this Giants game that we're doing tomorrow.
Okay.
Here's the deal. Jamar Chase. We were on him last week. Every week, especially since he's back, he was a little bummed. 7. These are all targets over 10. Some games he's getting 13 to 14 targets. So 7, 8, 7, 10, 7, 8. He had 8 for 68 or for 86 and a touchdown last week. His over 6.5 receptions plus 105. I gotta take it again. He gets too many targets. He's too damn good. I get this is a second week seeing him, but I mentioned it last week when we talked about this. He eats the Ravens. They can't stop this guy. They don't have anything for him in his career. 8 for 201, 7 for 125, 7 for 50. I mean, still, and then 8 for 86 last week. So I'm on both. It's only 76.5. Come on now. I got 76.5 minus 112, I think, is what I had it locked. It wasn't a 110. Let me double check that. Okay. And the over 6.5 was plus 105.
Plus money.
I'm almost on his TD here. It's even money. I'm thinking about it here before we dip.
But that's not your only look for the Bengals player props. So tell us about the other spot that you're focusing on, and then we'll see if you add the anytime touchdown.
Yeah, I just think he gets dropped off passes. I heard Billy talking. I don't think he runs, but he's continuously at least hit 3. So this one, I'm going to roll with it, though. The offensive line's a little banged up. They've been dumping it off to him. I think he's at 5.75. And like I said, the minimum was 3. The first time they played the Ravens, he had 3. So I'm going with Mixon, over 3.5 catches, minus 105. I think he gets a few of those, as Burrow loves to dump off to him a few times.
Mixon over 3.5 receptions, minus 105. We want to close on you talking about your big live stream that you're hosting tomorrow. Did you decide about Chase anytime touchdown?
Who are they talking about? The carries? They're talking about McCaffrey. I don't mind the McCaffrey carries, but yeah, that's a whole nother story. Anyways, I want the Giants here. I'm just gonna wait. On our live stream, I'll have props and all that. I just haven't gone over it crazy. I think Jefferson has another game. He had like 15 yards the first matchup in a good one. Late touchdown, 2-point conversion. And I remember you had that over, correct, Jimmy? Needed that 2-point conversion.
I was
lost by 3. Pushed. I like the Giants. So I think the Vikings win. I'm not impressed with, the Vikings defense, obviously. But I'll have action tomorrow on that. I'm pretty sure I'll be on the Giants plus 3, but I'm not final on that, so I can't give it right now.
It's a very tough game. I find it so difficult because I don't think the Giants are clearly getting healthier, and so Daboll's done this perfectly while Staley fucked it all over. Daboll's just doing this perfectly. Who are some of your guests that you're going to have on the big live stream tomorrow?
Oh. Our guy, Dommy Gun, will be joining me. A little New York Giants game. I didn't have Ragu. I know he does Monday nights with you, but maybe he could pop in.
He said, he said he was going to pop in on all of ours. He's going to do a little 10-minute.
Hell yeah. That'd be great. Spendy Penny bombs, and I'll have a few others. I've messaged a few guys. Hopefully they get back to me. And I think a good game. All good games.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
maybe
great.
Not Bills, but you never know. You never know.
You never know. Sharpie's not happy about getting that game. He's so funny. Mixon over 3.5 receptions, minus 105. Chase over 6.5 receptions, plus 105. Chase over 76.5 receiving yards, minus 112. Then tonight, he has Eckler over 37.5 receiving yards, minus 110. Keenan Allen over 80.5 receiving yards, minus 110. Lawrence over 13.5 rush yards, minus 115. Anytime touchdown, plus 330. Jaguars, plus 126 money line. Then he's got Ayuk over 40.5 receiving yards. McCaffrey over 73. Oh, sorry?
I said sorry. It was my Ayuk.
I don't know. I don't know which one it is. I don't know what it is. McCaffrey over 73.5 rush yards, and the over under 42.5 points. Jim W. Putt. Jim Putt comes in and says, first time. This is an epic show. Thank you for joining us. This is our first time doing it in the playoffs. We do this through the regular season, but the Cappers have been so good this year that we were like, come on, man. This group of top 7 Cappers is a shade under 60 units up on this show. And that's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Also, that's putting in lines that are available right now. I mean, that's just phenomenal. You being a big part of it, C-Mac. Thank you for making the time for us. We are a minute away from kickoff for our first playoff game. C-Mac, any last words for the Capper supporting the show?
Yeah, shout out to the chat. Best goddamn chat in the goddamn game. Hands down, as I always say. I know we need to get rolling. It's about to kick off. I'll let you take it over. Hit the chat, Jimmy. Thanks for having me, as always. Another great season. My man, thank you.
I love it. There he is, Connor Mack, who will be hosting our live bet stream tomorrow for Vikings Giants. Mike M gave us a pimp slot play today. It is on the Niners Seahawks under 42.5. That's off right now. We'll do a quick review of action and then put a bow on this. First off, Bo Bano giving us his first teaser of the year. Jacksonville +8, Bengals -2. He's on Giants +3, the over 48, and Giants Vikings. Then he is on the Buccaneers money line +125 and the over 45 -109 in Dallas, Tampa. And he also gave us the Bills team total over 27.5. That was juiced at -150. Goldster focusing all his energy on the one spot, Chargers, Jags. He gave us Etienne over 76.5 rush yards. Patterson over 1.5 field goals made. Dicker, the kicker, over 1.5 field goals made. Total field goals made in the game over 3.5. Those are all plus money spots, +100, +100, +125 respectively. First score to be a Jacksonville field goal +360. First score to be an LA Chargers field goal +380. No team to reach 30 points -127. And Jacksonville +7.5 and under 55.5. Okay, let's move on. The next spot on the board is Ragu. He's on McCaffrey touchdown and a win in the game that's popping off right now. That's at +110. ETN over 17.5 longest rush, and Jags +2.5 in tonight's game. He's on Giants +3 and -112, and Giants win in the Barkley anytime touchdown at +260. And the first half under 22.5 -110. Fournette anytime touchdown +125. Rush and receiving over 68.5 -115. Brady under 42.5 pass attempts, and Bucks money line +125. His teaser is the Giants and the Vikings over 42 and the Bengals -2. And he has a money line parlay, Bucks, Giants, Jags at just a little over 10-1 plus 1,046. Spenny in the house. Spenny has Jaguars money line, Zay Jones over 49.5 receiving yards. He has Giants +3 and the Giants money line. And he has the Bucks money line. He's got 2 teasers. One, all the games. Seahawks +15.5, Jags +8, Bills -7.5, Bengals -2, Giants +9, Bucks at +8.5 at 5-1. And he's got Jags +8, Bengals -2, and Bucks +8.5 at +150. Brizzy has Ray McLeod under a half receiving yard, and McCaffrey over 73.5 rush yards, and Barton over 8.5 tackles and assists. Then he's got Keenan Allen over 6.5 receptions, Jaguars money line. He's got Bills first half team total over 14, Cook over 37.5 rush yards. He's got Hawkinson over 4.5 receptions, and Hodgins anytime touchdown +280 for that one. And Mixon under 85.5 rushing receiving. Schultz over 38.5 receiving, and Pollard anytime touchdown. Then Noli Knows gave us the under. I messaged him afterwards because the 42.5 at -110 was available. He's on the under 42.5 -110 Seattle, San Francisco. He's on the under 47 -102 in Chargers, Jags, and the under 40.5 -102 in Ravens, Bengals. And we've already gone over C-Max action. It's time for playoff football. Thank you guys so much for supporting us at a different day and a different time. It means the world to us. And this season's been so much fun. Swiss Horton, thank you for pushing the likes for us. You're a good man. Jim W. Putt making his first time viewing us here on the NFL Pop-Up. Thank you for making time for us. Spendy Penny Bombs. Loopy. My guy Loopy, Smoke and Mirrors, Mally Mal, Jacksonville Zoe, Harold Williams, Dana Delp, Joe Chris, Real Deal Prime, Philly Cheesesteak, G Martinez, Top Set, Jacksonville Zoe. Thank you guys. Thank you. Nasty Nate, Michael Irvalina, Kirk Gray, Leonard Porch Jr., Swaggy D. Thank you guys for making the time for us. Flash. Now it's time. Nunya. Now it's time to go out and get that cash. Remember, we have a live UFC stream going on right now, and that first fight is underway. So jump over to our live stream for UFC. But from the bottom of our heart, thank you for supporting us. It means the world to us, and we're really excited about everything that's happening here at Pub Sports Radio. So let's go out there and get the fucking money. Let's go out there and get that cash. Let's go milk this shit. Leche. Y los bookmakers. Playoff.